After spending 5 days in the city of Saigon, Justin and I decided to head up the coast.
Our visa allows us 30 days in Vietnam, which is not a lot considering the amount of things to do in this lively country. In this episode, we're going to show you the highlights from 3 coastal cities, Mui Ne, Nha Trang, and Hoi An, each one unique from the other.
We're spending a few days in the small town of Mui Ne, famous for its red sand dunes, white sand dunes, and what we're standing in, the Ferry stream. For the first time on our trip, Justin and I rented a scooter instead of a car. Our scooter is a real piece of junk, but it's getting the job done. We caught the sunrise at the white sand dunes. It was awesome. The only downside is that it's popular for tourists to rent ATVs and basically tear up the sand dunes. They're loud and they're noisy and it just ruins the sight, but Justin and I found a quiet space to enjoy the moment and also fly the drone.
Later in the day, we took a walk up the Ferry stream. A nice stroll in a soft sand creek, with colorful sand cliffs on either side, and popular with tourists.
By now, Justin and I have been in Southeast Asia for 2 weeks, and we haven't gone swimming yet. It's amazing, right? We love swimming. Well, except for the fact that Justin just went into the waterfall at the Ferry stream. Next, we're headed to the ocean. We're gonna go for a swim in the South China Sea. It's gonna be great. Let's go! Come on! Another day, another sunset. Except this time, we're on the sand dunes. Okay, so I lied. I said we were going for a swim in the ocean earlier, but we couldn't help ourselves. We were riding back towards the sea when we saw these sand dunes, and they were just so inviting. In fact, just 1 year ago, Justin proposed to me on the sand dunes in Death Valley, California.
Vivian, my darling, tell me you love me, and I'm yours forever. We will go on many adventures. It will be a long road, and we'll grow old until our skin looks like this.
So, we have a thing for sand dunes. There are tourists here, they're all sliding down the sand dunes, but you know, if you make the effort and walk a little further, work a little harder, you can find your own sand dune and enjoy a nice quiet moment. At least a nice quiet windy moment.
One of the most interesting sights in Mui Ne is the fishing harbor. Just look at this. How many boats do you see? Notice the small round basket boats. They look like bathtubs, but were actually invented during French colonial times as a way to evade boat taxes, since they are not boats, but baskets. Here, Vivian is attempting to give away a fidget spinner that we've been carrying around for 2.5 months. She's been carrying a lot of stuff that she shouldn't be, and recently I've discovered that she's hiding a few things from me. Anyway, we found a young girl that we thought would appreciate the spinner, but her hands were too small, so her older sister jumped at the opportunity.
Baby, I'm painting blue. What I want to do.
Being at the coast, we couldn't resist waking up early for another beautiful sunrise.
After spending a few awesome days in Mui Ne amongst the sand dunes, we moved on to Nha Trang. Nha Trang is a beach city that's about 4 hours north of Mui Ne. We took a bus. It was a crazy experience. The driver honked non-stop. I'm not kidding, it was kind of nuts. This place is so crowded with Chinese tourists and especially Russian tourists. Nha Trang is booming with construction. We've been told that most of this is coming from Russian foreign investors. And we've also been told that the Vietnamese school children will be required to start learning Russian as part of their education next year, after English, of course. One of the things that you have to do, supposedly, in Nha Trang is go to a mud bath. Justin and I decided to go to this hilarious mud bath theme park. It's called 100 Eggs, and there are eggs everywhere. Like Easter eggs, decorated eggs, giant eggs everywhere. So Justin and I decided to splurge and get our own mud bath in an egg. Here it is. And watch all of the crazy activity of the Chinese tourists around us. It was loud. One of the funniest experiences we've had so far while being on the road for 2.5 months was this boat trip. We decided to go on the Funky Monkey boat tour, which has been pretty hilarious so far. I'm not sure that I would recommend this to you unless you were a 20-year-old backpacker looking for a fun booze cruise. The most entertaining part of this boat trip was the live Funky Monkey boy band.
Funky Monkey Boy Band, welcome to you!
They made all of the guests get up and sing songs from their countries. It was really cheesy, and here's Justin singing the Backstreet Boys. Amazing, I know. You know, the good thing was it got us away from Nha Trang and it brought us away from the clouds. It's been raining a lot. Today we're looking for the sun. I think we found it. Don't jinx it. Don't you dare. I need to get my tan on. So we had a nice boat ride anyway, and we were pretty entertained. We wanted to get a feel for what local life was like outside of the city of Nha Trang. So we took a day trip to the countryside of Ninh Hoa. Our guide Flower, yes, that's her real name, Flower, took us to a local market, which we learned was destroyed a month earlier due to the worst typhoon in 40 years. You can see here it was reconstructed only 10 days ago with sticks and tarp. When Flower was explaining how bad this typhoon was to us, she also explained how resilient Vietnamese people are. And you can really see it here. Even though this market was destroyed a month ago, they've rebuilt it and life is just continuing. They're smiling, they're happy. After the market, we trekked through the mud to get to a local's house. Here, we had some sticky rice. Just like regular rice, we love sticky rice.
We love rice.
Notice how colorful it is. The colors are really bright and may seem artificial, but it's all natural, and it was delicious. One of the coolest stops of the day was visiting the home of a woman who makes incense by hand. The best part was that I got to try and make one too. We're here at this famous woman's house. She's been making incense for over 50 years. I'm gonna take a go at it. It's not gonna be pretty. tour. We always love getting out of the city and experiencing those authentic moments to see how locals live. We were the only foreigners there and we were welcomed by all.
The day trip to the countryside of Ninh Hoa was the highlight of our stay in Nha Trang. We would now continue north once again. So today we are in Hoi An. We just arrived this morning after an overnight ride. We're feeling pretty good. We're excited to be here. It's another coastal town. This one feels kind of more chill than Nha Trang. Way more relaxed, a little more European vibe. But give me 1 second. I'm going to talk to my friend Hot Talk. So anyways, like I was saying, we're really happy to be here in Hoi An, and it's a bit hot, so we're gonna go to the beach. Come on.
Go for a swim. I love beaches.
We were lucky to find sunshine during our first 2 days in Hoi An, so we took advantage and went to the beach. The next day, it was time to do some shopping.
Hoi An is famous for its custom clothing businesses. There are tailor shops everywhere and they're all vying for your business. So Justin and I haven't been spending too much money, but we did spend a little bit here on getting some custom clothing made because who doesn't love bespoke clothing that fits you perfectly? We found this tailor that we really loved. We went back multiple times to get multiple fittings to make sure that everything fit just right. And we're really happy with the outcome. The cameraman really needed some fresh shirts, trust me. All of the locals highly recommended visiting the Marble Mountains. Basically these mountains that jut out of flat land. It's pretty cool. I'm glad we didn't take a tour and I'm glad that we rented a scooter and visited by ourselves. It made it that much more pleasant and it was a nice hike up. The temples were cool, it was in a cave. Yeah, it's a nice stop if you're in the area.
We happened to be here during a full moon. Buddhists always celebrate a full moon. Here in Hoi An, this takes place in the old town by lighting colorful paper lanterns and releasing them into the canal.
I am in Hoi An and I'm attempting to make a floating lantern since it's a full moon and they're celebrating the full moon festival tonight. Okay? Okay?
Make a wish.
We did it!
A bit of a banh mi showdown here in Hoi An. Banh mi phuong is the best known and highly rated, so we knew we'd want to try it.
So here it is, the banh mi made even more famous by Anthony Bourdain, called banh mi phuong. I'm not too impressed by the experience. There's a long line. I had to wait about 20 minutes and nobody in there was smiling, nobody there wanted to help me. Not too impressed. Let's see. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. Not worth the wait, so I don't know, you decide.
On the other side of town, about 5 minutes away, was the competition. A shop called Madame Khan, the Banh Mi Queen. We ended up eating here 5 times. You may know, Vivian and I always seek out the path less traveled. We didn't visit the pottery village, we didn't take a lantern making or a cooking class. Instead, we rented a scooter and found our way to the local fishing creeks and rice fields. These are the places most tourists drive by but never explore. But here, you can find quiet, peaceful moments with real glimpses of daily local life.
So, to recap everything we've showed you in this video, if you're deciding which coastal cities to visit, here's my recommendations. If you want to go to Mui Ne for the sand dunes and ferry stream, I'd recommend 2 days. It's a chill, laid back, beach town kind of atmosphere. Nha Trang is a bigger city. I'd say spend no more than 3 days there. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of tourists. You can go to the mud baths, you can go to the amusement park. 3 days, no more than that. Forget the Funky Monkey tour, but definitely go to Ninh Hoa. And for Hoi An, which is our favorite coastal town, if you're looking for that charming old town pedestrian street kind of feel, it's really beautiful. The lanterns make it so colorful. We'd recommend probably 5 days here just to get to know the area. You can take a cooking class, you can go to the pottery village, you can just come out to the fields and explore on your own. And finally, a big shout out to all of the new friends we've made along the way. Trin and Mui Ne, you are awesome. Thanks for feeding us for the 3 days that we were there. To our new friends that live in Collective in Nha Trang, you guys are awesome and inspiring. Thank you so much for spending time with us. If you're in Hoi An and you're craving some pastries, definitely check out La Petite Patisserie. Last but not least, a big thank you to all of the staff at Sincerity Hotel. This is my new friend, Ferry.
Welcome to Sincerity Hotel.
We've been staying here for the last few days in Hoi An. It's an awesome place. The staff is great.
It's great to meet you, both of you.
Look how friendly she is.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
You guys are amazing. We felt like we were at home the entire time and we were so sad to leave. You go above and beyond and we'll be sure to come back the next time we're in town. I'm here in Hoi An and I just met a fellow American from California. This
From
is Ted.
California, however, my family's from this area, literally like 15 minutes away. So here I am, so pleased to meet you, and I'm so excited that I found out that they are traveling and doing travel videos.
Yep.
How long have you been doing this?
We've been on the road for about 2.5 months and we plan to be on the road for a year.
We're this beautiful temple in Hoi An, which is a port city of Vietnam, right? Where
Yes.
the Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Vietnamese came together in what's called Hoi An, which means peaceful meeting place. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So it's peaceful meeting place, and so
Ah.
here we are,
How appropriate.
California,
And New
meeting
York.
in New York. So the West Coast
Meets East Coast.
mash up with the East Coast in where, but Hoi An, peaceful meeting place.
Wonderful.
So I wish you successful travels.
Thank
I'm so
you so
excited.
much.
And Xin Chào Vietnam. So see you, and I'm so looking forward to your travel video.
Thanks, Ted.
Yay, woo!
All right, it's time to go. We have to continue our journey north. We only have 10 days left in Vietnam. Crazy, I know. Stay tuned for next week's episode. We have some surprises in store for you. It's gonna be great. We're about to get on a pull cart to head to a homestay lunch.
Pull cart.
Yeah, is it a pull cart? I got that wrong. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you. That's lame. That's lame. Adventure Viv!
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Adventure Viv!
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Here we are. That's not me, that's Justin.
What?